Mike's on. I think you're good to go.
All right.
There we are. We're live again. Mr. Robby, there we go.
Yes. What's up? What's up?
And Robby aquí, man, hanging around with me, man. This is cool. No trajo botella, no alcohol or nothing, Robby. I like that, baby. We're clean cut, you know, all-American kind of a guy here, man. Robby, how old are you, dude?
I'm actually 36.
Dude, you don't even look 26, man. Everybody tell you that? Everybody tell you
It's
that,
because
man?
I'm not that tall. That's what it is. That's what helps me. That's what helps me.
That's what sells it, right? Because they're not that tall. Buenos dias, buenos dias, buenos dias. There we go. We can get ready to go live right now. And hang on, we're going to go live. We're going to do this. I'm not that tall.
I'm not that tall.
Mr. Robby, I may be small, but I carry a big stick. And there you go, man. Ow! Órale, here we go. There we go, little Black Bucks action. Strike it up on this Wednesday morning. Good morning, Double R Radio, streaming live from San Antonio, Texas. I'm here with Robby.
What's up?
How we doing, amigo?
We're good, we're good.
Good morning, good morning.
Yes.
Dude, you were struggling with traffic this morning, right?
Oh, yeah, man.
What happened out there, man?
I guess there was an accident on 281. I kept seeing it on the, I guess those big flashing signs. And I live right off of 35, and man, that thing was backed up. It took me about 20 minutes just to get to downtown. And downtown's like maybe 5 miles away from my house.
That's what I deal with, dude, every day when I'm doing the Uber thing. You know, I deal with that, and I mean, I can't even tell you the stories that happened this past weekend for the Final Four.
Ooh.
Downtown.
Yeah.
I'd have people that would pick up. We're going 2 blocks. We're going to be stuck in traffic for an hour. You can walk 2 blocks, man.
Yeah.
Get your fat ass off and start walking.
Hey, as long as they're paying you, though. That's good.
Yeah, man, but if that's that, I'd rather get the hell out of there, man, and go get
I'll tell you what, me and the wife went to that fan fest on Friday. Oh, man, I was like, okay, babe, we got like 20 miles till empty, 20 miles till empty. I mean, you're just stuck in that traffic, and, man, you're just coasting, trying to make sure that you make it to a gas station.
Who was performing Friday?
Friday was Jason Aldean.
How'd it go, man? There was a lot of people?
Actually, I didn't go to that. I went to the whole fan thing in the convention center.
Oh, okay, I got you. On the inside.
I had to perform that night, so couldn't really catch the concert.
Was that pretty cool?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was
man.
real cool out there.
I decided to work. It didn't, Final Four, man, como se dice, I didn't have a dog in the fight, so what, you know, I was just like, hey, man.
I just did it for the experience. The last time we had the Final Four here, I played with the Cumbia All-Stars at that Mike Coke Fest, and I didn't really have a chance to experience anything. We came off the road and just went straight to play, so didn't really have any time for that. So I wanted to make sure this year I had some time set aside for me and the wife to enjoy it.
Robby, how long have you been married?
10 years.
10 years, man.
10 years. Been together 18. Yeah.
I know couples who haven't been married 10 minutes. You know?
Yeah.
What made you finally tie the knot? You know, he says, this is it, man. I'm getting married.
When she was just like, you know what, we better get married or else. No, just fine.
Eh?
No, it was just one of those things that it just felt right at the time. You know, both of us. You know, she's a singer also. She just sing backup with Elida Yavante. And, you know, we're just kind of back and forth. Just, you know, she was doing her thing, I was doing my thing, and we're just still together and just trying to figure out, hey, what's going on? And you know, at that time, the time was right, so we decided to get married. How
cool is it to have your wife, who was in the music business, you're in the music business. Your wife, she was with Elida, with any other bands as well, or nomás Elida?
Well, it was with Elida, and then of course she had her own band. So.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the name of the band?
Chrissy Grupo Amante.
Ah, okay. Yeah. See, man, I'm telling you, man. I mean, so many bands come and go through here, man. It's just simply unreal. Now, Robby, you've done so many gigs in your lifetime, in your young lifetime, because you're still young. Mm-hmm. What's one of the weirdest things that's ever happened that you've seen on stage, man?
I'd have to say there's a couple.
Bring them on.
All right, so let's say Chavalos, the time that we played in El Paso. Throwing out CDs, boom, hit somebody straight in the middle of the forehead and just blood everywhere.
You didn't get sued for that?
Didn't get sued for that, luckily, no.
You're lucky, man.
Yeah.
You're very lucky, man.
Yeah.
That's one thing that when I was with Catalina Records, even with EMI, when we would do events, that's one thing I would never, ever do is start throwing out CDs in those little jewel cases.
Yeah.
Last you did them, you hit a kid in the eye or something, they're going to want money. They're going to want something, so you're better off just handing them off. You really are, because you got to be careful with all that. You really do. And, so the guy never came back at you and never said, hey, man, you gave me you screwed me up or whatever.
Nope, nothing.
Wow, you're lucky.
Yeah.
And the other story?
The other story, I remember one time I was playing with Elida, and they used to put water like on my timbales when I do a solo and stuff like that. Well, my stick just flies right out of my hand, goes straight into the crowd, and hits the girl in the face. I was like, sorry, my bad.
Now, I want you to check out this story. I think it was last Thursday. I was at the Spurs game. Me and Mr. Ben Miranda, we ran into Robby and his wife over there, and we were talking, man, drinking beers and doing the thing, and we kind of forgot about the game. At least I did. So did Ben. We were just talking, and there was an event that happened in Robstown.
Yes, Robstown.
Robstown, Texas, where they had an event over there where they had like a kind of like a shootout. It was between the Cumbia Kings and La Mafia. And Robby, at the time, was working with Los Cumbia Kings.
Right.
Now, Pee-wee, who was part of the Cumbia Kings, which was no longer with the Cumbia Kings, well, they were kind of going back and forth, and they decided to use Robby as kind of like a Pee-wee substitute.
Yeah.
What did they name you?
Chiwi. I was his cousin Chiwi.
Kiwi.
Chiwi.
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 They called him Chiwi. Man, I one time I told a girl, "Can I see your Chiwi?" And she slapped me, Robby, and walked away, man. No, but anyways, so they called you Chiwi, and when they brought you on stage in front of thousands of people, they introduced you as if you were going to actually be Pee-wee, but they tried throwing a curveball at him, and you were trying to sing Chocolate, right?
Right. Yeah,
and what happened, Robby?
It got about 10,000 people booing me.
Can you imagine 10,000 people booing you? Well, 10,000 people were booing him.
Me, yeah. And honestly, like, hey, man, that's a cool thing. How many people can you run into and say, hey, have you ever sang in front of somebody and they boo you? Oh yeah. How about 10,000? You know what I mean? And that was actually really, really funny, cool, and awesome experience at the same time.
Robby, I think you're one of the few people that can say that and have that attitude. I couldn't. If I had the choice of having 10,000 people boo me or one person applaud me, I'll take that one person and not take into heart 10,000 people. I understand what you did. I understand it was all in fun in many, many ways. And for you to do that, I mean, for you to take... Did you expect the reaction you got?
I expected a mixed reaction, but yeah, as far as the reaction that I really got, I was like, wow, this is happening, and you know what? I'll just keep on doing it. It's a show. You got to keep on going.
Did the people catch on right away that you weren't Pee-wee?
Yeah.
Right away.
Right away. I don't even know this, but I happen to be just a little bit darker than Pee-wee. And but yeah, it was just one of those things where they start playing the beginning of the song, and everybody just lights up, like, oh my god, yeah, everybody's going crazy. And I walk out skipping like Pee-wee, and everybody's just like, whoa. This is not. But yeah, it was a fun experience.
Now, A.B., after you were booed off stage, dude, A.B. gets on the mic, and what did A.B. say? A.B. Quintanilla?
He goes, hey, you know what, I know you guys expected someone else. He goes, he couldn't be here tonight, but we have his cousin Chiwi. But I'll tell you one thing, it takes a lot of guts and a lot of balls to do what this guy just did, taking so many boos and just keep going on and having a great time. He goes, so y'all owe it to him.
I tell you what, dude, that's going to be an experience you're never going to forget, man.
Never. And, it's a nickname that I can't get away from sometimes. So I have a couple friends that.
And mind you, we're at the Spurs game. We're talking about this. I'm going like, man, you know what, dude? I got to get you on the morning show, man. We got to talk about some of the stuff that you got going on, man.
Yeah.
Now, también, Robby, you've been in the recording studio.
Yes.
What CDs have you been as the part of?
Man.
Too many.
My first real big one that I was really proud of was Desperados, Desde Mi Corazón, and they have like the song Aurora and all those songs in there. That actually got nominated for a Latin Grammy the very first year they had the Latin Grammys, and that was like a really big thing for me. 19 years old and getting such an honor like that, I was just like, wow, what's going on? Like how is this happening to me? You know what I mean? A small kid from, a really small kid from east side of San Antonio is never supposed to be anything because, the east side's always, so bad. But, it just, I was just like, wow, I was just so shocked, astonished, and proud and honored.
Sure, of course. Yeah. Now, in the recording studio, I take it, what recording studios have you been at?
Real Track, of course, with Ernie. So what's up, Ernie? The House Records back in the day.
Sure.
Yeah, with Chris Leak.
Sure.
I forgot there's this one off of Ritterman that was with Mr. Gonzalez over there, and that one I actually got to perform on Emilio's last album, and I actually recorded on Un Conjunto Primavera CD. So
I was going to say now Pee Wee. Now Robby, today, in today's world, who are you playing with? What's going on with you today?
What's going on with me today? I'm playing with a top 40 band called Finding Friday, and honestly, the best and most hardworking band here in San Antonio. I'll be very honest with you. I've been with a lot of bands. I've played with a lot of people, and these guys do it right, And we have a schedule. We have everything on our phone synced up. We know where we're at all times as far as when we got to play, what we got to do, everything like that. And we play every weekend, man. Mainly play at this place called Pix Bar. Play at a couple other places here in San Antonio, but I'm playing with them right now. Still help out DJ Kane whenever he calls me up. That's one of the guys that honestly is like a really good friend of mine. Spent a lot of time on the road together, all that kind of stuff. And just recently I was playing with AB again. Really great guy. I'll be very honest with you. A lot of people have their own opinions about him, but he's a really awesome friend, really cool guy. And whenever he calls up, hey man, I'm here. I'm here to play. I'm here to help everybody out, and I'm not here to judge. I'm here to do a job.
I know that I ran into you last year. I was at the Fiesta de la Flor event in Corpus. I ran into you. I saw you backstage.
Yeah.
It's always a pleasure to see you, man. Porque siempre, man, siempre me saludas. Yo te saludo. And I've never really gotten to know you.
Yeah.
I know of you, and
Right.
you know of me. We've never really had a conversation, and I'm glad we're doing this. After this, Pee Wee, wait, I'm stuck with Pee Wee, dude. I'm stuck with Pee Wee, man. Oh, no. See, dude, right away, come into everybody calls.
It sticks.
I'm calling Pee Wee. They call you Chee Wee, right? No, but really, man, I'm very, very glad, very blessed that we finally got together. We did this, and we get to know each other a little bit more on both ends. Really, man, and even more so now. Speaking of Fiesta de la Flor, when I ran into you back there, you guys had performed earlier.
Yes.
What do you think? What was your? How did you feel about your experience playing at Fiesta de la Flor?
Great. It's always a great experience to be there. I actually got to perform at the very first one with Chris Perales, and being part of his band there too. And that was, to me, honestly, it was an honor. Both years that I played there. Especially the very first year. But this past year that I saw you, I was playing with Finding Friday during the day, and at night I played with AB, and kind of did double duty there, and honestly, totally awesome experience and two totally different experiences.
Sure.
Sure. You have Finding Friday. This is something that these guys have been working hard for years, and finally to be up on a stage like that was such a great experience, and to be able to share it with those guys. Some of those guys who haven't even done events like that or anything as big as what that is. That was a great experience. And then at night playing with AB, I mean, man, you got like 55, 60,000 people screaming. And you're playing, and sometimes it's hard to hear what you're playing, or at the same time, the music stops, and they're singing along with what the song is.
Sure.
And, sometimes you just got to take a step back and just like take it all in.
Robby, I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. I'm gonna come clean with you about something on that event that you're talking about. I was out in the crowd, and I think I was the only one saying "Chee Wee, Chee Wee, Chee Wee." I had your back, dude.
And, I'll be very honest with you. I've done a lot of big things. I've played with a lot of big bands. I've done a lot of awesome recordings that have, thank God, have been, nominated for not only the Honda Music Awards, but also, Latin Grammys, everything like that. And, it's just it's a big honor to be part of those things.
You've done a lot of damage out there, dude, and I applaud your efforts. I really, really do. You're kind of an example of hard work pays off. And the thing is, you're not guaranteed that you'll be rewarded. And that there's a lot of musicians out there that have put a lot of time and effort into their music, and it just never pans out. Right. To some it does, to some it doesn't. But that just goes to show you, whenever you do take it to the next level, I mean, it's really good to kind of kick back and absorb it, right, and appreciate it, because a lot of people do appreciate your efforts. Obviously, a lot of people know you. You're
right.
You're a recognized
honestly,
figure.
I feel a lot of people know me within the business, but as far as like fans or anything like that, I don't think anybody like really knows me. And that's a good thing, because I really respect the values of my peers. But also, you know, fans, if you see me out there, say hi, you know, do something. But
definitely, and of course, along with that, you know, it comes with something else. Like, you know, on my end, and I'll speak for myself on the way I handle. I'm not saying I'm anybody because I'm not, but I just try to do what I'm doing here. But you know, regardless, I never put my personal life out there.
Right.
I try to take it. You have to, right. And I'm on your end as well. What you're saying. A lot of people may see you up on stage or whatever, but you got to take care of your personal life too, man. Because Facebook is an awesome thing. But it can turn out to be a very ugly thing if you don't take care of it.
Right,
you know?
Exactly. You know, as far as my Facebook, I try to post events as much as I can, and you know, just do different things here and there. But honestly, like when I started playing with, you know, certain bands, you know, people start adding you and start wanting to do this and start trying to talk to you or whatever. But you know, you just got to keep a level head and say, hey, look, you know what, this is the person I come home to at night, and you got to make sure that everything's right and everything's happy, you know?
I'm going to tell you this as well, and I've talked about this several times on my morning show, which is that I've always said marriage and music is a tough mix. And I'm not going to say it doesn't work. It's very hard being in the music business and being married, even having a tight relationship girlfriend. It's really, really tough. I think maybe in your end, I know nothing about your personal life. I don't need to know nothing about it, but I think maybe one thing that maybe why it's working for you, which is great, and I applaud it, is because your wife knows the music business. She's been a part of it, and she knows what it's all about. A lot of people out there, men or women, you know, one's in the music business, one isn't, and the one that isn't usually is the one that eventually their patience will run out, they don't understand it, whatever the case, and that's where the breakups happen. But I think on your case, it works because your wife used to be in the music business. I mean, is that fair to say?
Exactly why. And you know, like, we've been together so long. It's just like, you know, like I tell her, why would I ruin 18 years for, you know, 20 minutes or 30 minutes being with somebody else? You know, it's not feasible.
I tell you what, Esther, we got a whole lot of people joining me right now live on Facebook. If you have a question for Robby, send it right now, por favor. We'll get that question out there right now. If you have a question for Robby, put it out here right now on Facebook or on my messenger, whatever the case may be, on Robby's page. If you have a question, Robby will see it on his end. I'll see it on my end. If you got a question, ask him right now. This is what it's all about. You can ask him his favorite color, what size underwear. It doesn't matter, man. Ask him whatever. Ask him if he wants to sing Chocolate live, man. What does it matter, man? If you got a question, do it. Here we go. Let's do some good morning shout out. Go to Mary Alvarez. Good morning. Joey Rodriguez. David Garza in the casa.
Yeah.
And there we go.
Joey.
The Weasel. Henry Salazar. There we go. Way to go, Robby. Tulio Perez has there we go.
Tulio.
And Sophie, there we go. Menhua Rodriguez, he is a very hard worker.
Yes.
Hey, dude, how much you pay these people, dude? Come on, dude.
Menhua's actually one of my good friends that I've worked with for years. So
there we go. Justin J. Gonzalez Leiva. There we go. Good morning, good morning. Linda Rizzo. Good morning, good morning. Yes. There we go. It's Linda Lopez Jr., Stephanie Gonzalez, Diana Gonzalez Subia, Irene Gutierrez. Good morning. Aida Ramirez. Buenos dias. Ruby R. Garcia. Orlando Mata. Eso. Antoine Billy. There we go. Jeanette Rivas, my daughter. Ask him who has the best. Hey, dude, who's got the best chicken fried steak, dude?
Man, who's got the best chicken fried steak? God, man, I'm stuck. I'm torn between Tip Top and Bud Jones. I love those.
Wow,
two.
dude.
I love those two.
You know mine, dude? What's that place on Florida Street with the big schooners?
Oh, MK Davis.
MK Davis, dude. I love their chicken fried steak. They sprinkle little raisins, but they're not raisins, dude. Trae patitas, you know. No, but really, MK Davis to me, dude, is the meanest chicken fried steak. Bud Jones, I've never tried it. A Tip Top, I like it because they put the gravy on the bottom. And the French fries on top, right?
Yes.
Man, that's pretty good stuff. Let me see here. This is some good morning. Rosalinda Ureste, good morning. Cindy Prudinsky, good morning. Luciano N. Miranda Soto, there we go.
Luciano.
Saludos. Joyce Adragon Rivas, Regina Marquez, there we go. Adi Reina, there we have it. Regina Marquez and Augie Rodriguez, Michelle Acosta, Maria Lopez, good morning, Maria. Cecilia Leal Hernandez, good morning. Melissa Benavides, good morning. Menhua, there we go. We are proud of you. They're proud of you, dude.
Yes, they're very proud of me.
How much did you give them, dude? Come on, dude. Hey, enough is enough, dude. Xavier, X-Man, used to be the security at T-Town. There we go.
Yeah, I used to play with him in Eddie Gonzalez.
Huh?
Me and Xavier used to play together in Eddie Gonzalez.
Angie Acevedo, good morning. Christina Torres, good morning.
Who?
Christina Torres? Irene Gallona, my prima, good morning. Mary Villanueva, good morning. Robby Esparza, hey, dude, you're right here, dude. Pepe Marquez.
That's right.
If you got a question for Robby, send it right now, man. Come on, questions. Come on, bring them on in. Let's get a question out here for Robby. Let's expose them. I don't know. There we go. My daughter says, no! My daughter loves Good Time Charlie's.
Oh, okay.
I don't see it, dude. I don't get it.
You know, my childhood best friend actually used to work at Good Time Charlie's. So, yeah, I had a lot of chicken breadsticks from there.
Paul Valadez says good morning.
Yes, my cousin. Hey, what's up, cuz?
There we go. Anyways, I tell you what, Robby, before we close out, Robby, how long do you see yourself doing what you're doing?
Until I can't breathe anymore.
You're going to stay with it?
Stay with it. Yeah,
Now, mind you,
too much.
Now let me ask you this, Robby. You don't have, as they say, a real job, or do you have a real job?
Oh, I have a real job. I've always had a real job, actually.
What are you doing right now?
Currently, right now, I'm sales at Ashley Furniture.
Really?
Yes. So you need furniture, anything like that, let me know what's up. Sada Samora of the military, boom, come see me.
Look at this free plug that will allow Robby.
Ask for Chiwi, ask for Kuya King, whatever you want to call me.
Yeah.
Just ask for me.
They're going to go in there, where's Mr. Chocolate?
Yeah.
Good morning, Santa. This is Jeremy Ramos. There we go. What's up, Rob? Lotto Torres, the man.
What's up?
There we go.
Laudo used to play with me, a band called Boombasta. I played with so many bands. Boombasta and with Chris Pettis. So,
now, Chris Pettis, I was very blessed to have, I caught up with him. He was in California, and I did an interview with Chris Pettis a couple of years ago. He was sick and everything, but he did the interview with me, man, and I thank you so very much, Mr. Chris Pettis, for doing the interview with me. And, of course, you can catch that interview on my website at robertrivasradio.com, okay? Luis Lefty Rodriguez.
there you go.
There we go. We got a question. Ask him about Meseca, the Meseca days, dude.
So man, another great fortunate thing I was able to do, courtesy of Mr. Gabriel Zavala hooking me up. They used to actually film a cooking segment here in San Antonio at KLRN that was put on every Thursday morning on Despierta America, and it was what was it? En la cocina de las estrellas from Meseca. So if you know like Meseca, the masa and everything like that. Yeah, we used to do different things. So actually what would happen is fans would go ahead and put in a recipe using Meseca, and they would also put in as far as who they would love to make that that dish with. So, Meseca would hook them up and bring in whatever star or whatever TV actor, whoever it was, and they'd make that recipe. So I was part of the house band there, and man, a lot of great acts that I was able to accompany. You got Maria Jose, Luis Enrique, man, I mean, you're talking about Ana Barbara, all these big time, people in Mexico, and, here, of course, in the United States. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff.
Shout out from Amanda Guerra. There we go. Robby. Man, dude, you're too popular, dude. You can't come back no more, dude. I mean, you're taking away my spotlight, dude. Alex Villanueva Jr. says, Baja, ¿qué es that? Sales better go up, Robby. Hey,
yeah. Another friend of mine I used to work with. And then, of course, Chrissy.
Chrissy, there we go. To say that I'm proud of you is an understatement.
Thank you, baby.
AJ Rock Flores. What's up, brother? Kathy Castilla, good morning. También Armando Guerrero. There we go. Love you, Robby. So también Laura Torres. Robby, you have a face for radio, bro.
Yeah. See, I can always count on those messages from Laura. Thank you, brother.
Hey, dude, wait a minute here. Somebody just said, good morning, Johnny Ramirez. Hey, you don't look like Johnny Ramirez, dude. Come on, dude. Hey, man. Robby, you've never been interviewed before? Nobody's ever talked to you radio?
Actually, no.
What the hell's the problem
I've been part
man?
of interviews, like in the background, but I've never had a chance to speak. So, yeah.
Well, let it be known. Aquí mero,
right here,
amigo.
boom, first
Aquí mero,
time.
Double R Radio, Robert Rivas Radio, man. Hey, the door is always open for you, brother.
Thank you.
Now,
Thank you,
let's talk about the Spurs before we sign off here, man. You're a big Spurs fan.
Yes, big time. Big time.
How big? Like I said, how often do you go to games?
This year I've been blessed to actually have time to go to games, so I've saying at least a good 5 or 6 games.
Now, Finding Friday has performed at the sports games, right?
Yes.
Do they give y'all tickets too, or no?
Actually, no. They give you the pass to go ahead and perform, but no seats are guaranteed. But it's cool. You got the general admission area and stuff like that.
Sure.
The fan zone.
Sure.
Honestly, I love that a whole lot more because being stuck in one of those little cramped up seats and trying to enjoy the game and eat your nachos and drink your beer and all that kind of stuff. Can't do that there. General admission, you got big old tables, big screens, and you can actually look down and enjoy the game.
Robby, knowing that I don't know too much about you, which we all know this, I noticed that at the Spurs game this past Thursday, you were eating nachos and a soda. And, I talked to Ben afterwards. Hey, dude, does Robby drink or do drugs or anything? Viagra or anything? He goes, man, I don't know, dude. I don't know about the Viagra. Maybe Viagra, but I don't know about the beers or stuff. I don't know. So I got to ask you, do you drink beer or any alcoholic beverages?
Actually, I don't like beer at all.
Really?
Yeah, and you know, when I order something, I always tell them, can I have some apple juice? Because I like the Angry Orchard. You know, it's the apple cider. But I'll drink that, and you know, I'll drink some, you know, some good like whiskey and stuff like that. But to say that I need to have a drink wherever I go or anything like that, nah. It's usually a very social drinker.
Well, good for you, man. There's nothing wrong with it. I'll make up for you. Okay? One's for Robby. One's for me. Give me 2 beers. One for me, one for Robby. There we go, man.
Yeah.
Robby, you have a lot of people that obviously care about you. They love you. They embrace you. They know about your music heritage and what you've been doing out here and what you continue on doing. Any words to the people out there that you know?
And you know, honestly, I'd really like to talk to all the musicians that are up and coming.
Sure.
Trying to get things going.
The mic is yours. The mic is yours.
Hey, you know, just it's one of those things. You either A, you have to stick with, or B, it's just like, you know what, it's just not happening for me. Do I really want to go down this road? Do I really want to do something else? And you know, and it's one of those things that you really got to do out of your heart. And I'll be very honest with you. I see a lot of these guys coming up and stuff like that. And man, everybody sounds great. My only critique is let the music flow. You know, I have friends that could drum circles around me. I know new cats that are awesome, stuff like that. But let the music breathe. You know, you don't have to play every single lick you know in one song. You know, it took a long time for me to understand that. And you just got to let the song play. And you know, honestly, I think that this generation of musicians are man 10 times ahead of where I started. And the good thing is, I know that good things are going to come out of it. It's just we got to make sure the music breathes. People want to dance, and that's what happens. And you know, people will go and flock to the simplest music, and you're standing there like, what the hell? I'm like a badass musician. Why don't people notice me? Well, they're not noticing you because you're not letting the music play. So please let the music play, guys. And I trust you. And trust me, you're gonna go places.
I tell you what, you have a question from Crystal Campos who says, what happened? What inspired you to become a musician, and will you ever go solo?
Ever go solo? No. That'll never be a thing for me. I don't feel that I need to be the front man and anything like that, and I don't feel that I've ever been the type to be any type of front man. But what inspired me to become a musician? You know, honestly, just listening, like my main bands, growing up and listening to things were like Sombra, La Mafia, Selena, and you know, and honestly, like playing that gig that I told you at Robstown with La Mafia, that was like a big, like, oh my god type deal. You know, like Oscar brought out one of his old jackets that he wore like in one of his albums, and I was just like, wow, that's like the jacket. You know what I mean? And you know, that was awesome to, you know, hold and even to put on. Yeah, I didn't want to take it off, but still. And then, you know, honestly, like Selena was like, you know, really one of my big inspirations. And you know, honestly, like being able to, you know, play with AB, and you know, I actually got to jam out with Suzette this past year at Fiesta La Flor, and that's like one of the first time she's played, and I don't know how long that she, you know, really felt that, you know, she was comfortable playing, and to be alongside, you know, with her, and you know, honestly, I've jammed out with Pete, I've jammed out with Joe Heda and those guys, and you know, to me, that was like a real awesome experience, and that was one of my favorites. You
know, Robby, I'm going to give you a fun fact about myself and my listeners and everybody else. Back in the day, I tried singing, and somebody asked me, "Hey, Robert, are you ever going to go solo?" And I go, "What do you mean?" They said, "Solo, we can't hear you." And I said, "Well, okay, yeah." So I think that says it all, man. Solo, I can't hear me. All right, it is what it is, man.
They didn't say no sabes tocar lejos de aquí.
Robby, let's see here. Where we at? Stephanie Myers says, "What's your favorite song to play?" Good question.
No tengo dinero.
No tengo I live it, and you sing it. There you go, man.
No, but favorite song to perform is No Tengo Dinero, no doubt. You know, that brings me back to, you know, the days of Cumbia All Stars and playing some of these big arenas and big shows. It was just so full of energy, and we already knew that was almost like one of the hitters going home. And we're just like, you know what, we'd always just play our hearts out with that one. And honestly, that's like one of my favorite songs to play.
Robby, was it a big transition going from Tejano to Finding Friday?
Actually, no. And the reason why I say that is because, playing with Stephanie Montiel, we used to do a top 40 thing with this band called Lush. And it was Lush featuring Stephanie Montiel. And it was a lot of like top 40 hits and different things like that. So actually going to Finding Friday, I already had that kind of feel. And honestly, I actually switched from playing drums with Stephanie Montiel to Latin percussion like congas, timbales, and stuff like that. Because honestly, a lot of people don't know I actually do play drums, but I am a drummer.
There we go. Let me see here. Are you going to be at the Selena Fiesta de la Flor next coming weekend?
No, unfortunately, I will not be. No, I don't have.
What's the problem,
I haven't been called by any bands to play out there. So
I know what the problem is, dude. 10,000 people scared you away from.
That's what it is. That's what it is. It's all those Robstown people.
Now, Robby, let me ask you a question. And in your opinion, because I like saying in your opinion.
Right.
In your opinion, Robby, because you were talking about musicians and stuff, which is simply awesome. But now let me ask you. In your opinion, what's going on with Tejano music today?
What's going on with Tejano music today? Honestly,
why is it on the down? Because no doubt, it's on a downslide. I mean,
right.
There's no doubt about it. What seems to be the problem with Tejano music? You being involved with so many artists, so many bands out there,
right.
You got a feel for all this. I'm sure you get some good gigs and then you get some bad gigs, but
right.
They come and go. Now, what do you think's going on with Tejano music today?
I honestly think it's the exposure where it needs to be. So, for instance, like Steph, she puts out these great albums, but at the same time, she doesn't get that exposure she needs. So, you turn on certain radio stations, and it's stuff that, I listened to when I was like 10 years old, and they're great songs, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, we gotta let this generation of music to go ahead and breathe and to be heard. Because I can tell you this, back in that era, you had those little pilones where, hey, you know what? Play the song, we're going to give you a kickback, play the song and
right.
And that music was just kind of shoved down our throats. Whether we liked it or not, it was shoved down our throats. There are certain songs that I didn't really like to enjoy hearing, but they were on the radio constantly, only because the radio station would push it. But, some of these artists don't have that push anymore. These radio stations don't give that push. And I think some of these radio stations need to do that. And I'm not calling out one in particular or five or whatever, but I honestly think that, people like Steph, people like Elida, she has some great stuff that's out there right now that's still being played, but there's different songs. Everywhere you go, there's different songs from different artists being played. And I think everybody should have that equal chance. DJ puts out awesome stuff, but you don't hear it. You don't get to hear it. He was part of this group called Misterio, roughly about 2 years ago, and man, their stuff was like hidden. I mean, they're in Bolivia, Argentina, all these places, but you don't hear anything here, and that's what it is. You need to give whatever's out here, this generation of music, a chance to go ahead and flourish, and that's what's happening. We gave that chance back in 92, 93, 94, 95, and it was pushed down our throats. Well, you know what? Let's do another push. Let's regenerate, this era.
I've always said this, Robby. I was a music promoter for a long time. I was with EMI Latin. I was with Catalina Records, and I went independent. So I worked with all the heavy hitters and everything. And I'm going to say one thing, and this is a true statement. And people may disagree with me. That's okay. That's what it's all about. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. But one thing that I noticed touring in South Texas and doing all my promotions at radio stations,
right.
It's unfortunate, and it's very unfortunate, that a lot of these stations out there, Uvalde, Del Rio, Eagle Pass, Laredo, Corpus Christi, Robstown, Victoria, go on and on.
Right.
They all followed KXTN's lead.
Yep.
They all did. Everybody tried to keep it tight-knit to what KXTN was playing, and that closed the doors to a lot of other bands.
Right.
And that left them out, because everybody was scared to open it up. They were saying, well, if KXTN's playing it, we're going to play it. And if they're not playing it, we're not going to play it. And it's not even KXTN's fault, in a sense.
No,
they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
But all these other people, man, all these other stations were just following.
They just didn't have an identity. They stripped themselves from having an identity. You go to Corpus and go to KSAB and you listen to those guys. I'll be very honest with you, man. There's songs I hadn't heard either in a long time that are being played, or there's songs that I never even knew this artist had, or there's even bands that I didn't even know that like existed.
Right.
And that stuff's cool because it's so fresh, it's so new. You go to Lubbock, you know, with Magic, and they have a different one over there too. You know what I mean? And there's different things being played out there. You know, and that's what I love. But at the same time, you know, I'd like to hear a lot more new stuff, not only around here, but everywhere else.
Everybody caters to their, and you're very right. Once you leave San Antonio, it changes. The ball game changes. What you're hearing in Corpus, then what you hear in Robstown, then what you hear in Falfurrias. Then when you get to the Valley, you hear one thing. You get to Laredo. Right. Everybody's playing their own little onda, whatever. And it is what it is, man. Radio stations, that's their thing, whatever they're going to play.
Right.
But like I said, there's some bands out there that are being left out in the cold, and it is what it is. I'm not going to lie to you. I've gotten some. They send me MP3s actually all the time, and I hear them sometimes. Sometimes I don't. I'm racing around crazy, man. This turned into a little part-time gig, but whatever I listen to, just because they put something out, it doesn't mean it's good.
Right.
And I'm not saying they're not all good, but there's some stuff that I get, man, that's just simply terrible. I won't call out any names, and I'm not going to play it. But if it's good, I will play it. A good example of a new artist that I really liked was Aisha. Mm-hmm. Okay, she came up with a couple of awesome singles. She really did. I loved them.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, I'm open to a lot of people out there, but también, just because you got something brand new, I'm just not going to throw it out there, man. Exactly. You know, it's got to be good, at least half decent, man. You know, it's got to carry something like that.
You have to remember, I mean, if you're going to put something out there, this is a reflection of you. This is a reflection of, you know, what you believe in and what you dedicate yourself to. So please, if you're gonna record something, hey, let's do it right. And if not, let's find somebody that can help you. Like me, I'd be willing to help anybody that needs any help. And that's the way I feel that I've always been. You know, drummers, you know, you want to say, hey, you know, you want to learn something off of me, because you know what, I can always learn something off of you. Congueros, everything like that, man, I'm always up for jamming with anybody and everybody. And that's the way you have to be. You got to be open. You can't just be stuck in your ways, because I'll be honest with you, that's why our genre is stuck in a rut the way it is, because everybody's so close-minded and doesn't want to listen to anyone else.
Let me ask you something, Robby, before we close out. Have you been? I'm sure you're always approached by bands, and of course, you're in the category now too where you can be selective in a sense. You can say well, yes or no or whatever, and of course, it comes down to money too, man. It's up to you if you want to play for free somewhere. That's your prerogative. Pero también, you got to look at the big picture, man. If they want you to go to Corpus, they want you to go here, and then on your nickel, and then to get your own room or be out there in the middle of the night driving back. Right. So, do a lot of bands approach you?
Actually, they do. I do get a lot of you know, hey, you know, I got to get here, and you know, can you make it? I need somebody this and that. And you know, honestly, as of recent, I've just been so busy that I do have to turn some people down. You know, and I have a select few of people that I just say, you know what, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help you no matter what, only because they've been there for me. You know, like, you know, Steph's a really good one. DJ, AB, all these guys, they've helped me out so much that I can't just literally just tell them no, I'm not gonna do it. You know, and you know, there's. But
that's your prerogative.
That's my prerogative.
That's right.
You know, if I want to play for free, I'll play for free. If I want to charge so much, I'll charge so much. But I'll tell you this: I've never told somebody I need you to pay me this amount. And that's just been my...
Robby se está enojando, Robby.
That's right.
That's chingazos. Robby, ¿qué te da chingazos? Le doy la madre, Robert. Le doy la madre. Now, you got another question. Here we go from Crystal, who says, how do you handle mistakes during a performance?
I laugh it off.
They don't happen. Sure, they don't happen.
Actually, you know, there's times that I do make mistakes, and, you know, my wife will tell you, she's like the first one that hears it and says, you know, hey, babe, you sounded great. I'm like, hell no, I sucked. I did this and I did that. And she's like, no. She's like, nobody noticed. And I'm like, well, I noticed, and that's what bothers me. But, you know, like I just have to keep going. You know, you make a mistake, you can't just stop and freak out, because that's when it gets noticed.
Sure. And that's the thing. And you're like me. I am the first one to criticize myself and whatever I do on here. I am the first one that listens in here and there and trying to tweak here, tweak there. And if I screw up, I know, man, and I'm going to correct it, because, you know, I am my biggest critic on this thing. I'm trying to keep it done right, because if you can't criticize yourself, then, man, you're not going to be able to take other people's criticism.
Well, not only that, you can't help yourself either. So.
That's right. That's right. We live and learn, no, Robby?
Yeah, gotta live and learn.
That a boy, amigo.
Trust me, I've lived and learned a lot.
Robby, I thank you so very much for taking the time to come over here as to Fighting the Traffic to join me in my morning show. To me, I think it's just awesome that I ran into you the way we did at the Spurs game, and it all came about. And I said, hey, Robby, come on to my morning show, dude.
Let's do it.
You know, and I said, no, it's probably beer talking, Robby. I'm not drinking, Robert. Okay, man.
Yeah, so I was like, you still down to do that interview?
You got a lot of people out here, man, that love you, dude.
Yes.
Give them a shout out. Give them a little love there.
Thank you, everybody checking it out, tuning in, Facebook Live, listening in on the air. But yeah, I really appreciate everybody's love, everybody's support, whether it be family, friends, fans, whoever it may be. Thank you very much for tuning in.
There we go. También Richard Hernandez says, damn, guys, you guys sound awesome. And Robert Rivas, you're an awesome-looking guy, and Robby's just okay. I appreciate that, dude. You're the man, Richard. I appreciate that,
Richard, how you doing, man?
I like Richard's style. I like him a lot, dude.
Yeah.
Robby Esparza, thank you for joining me on my morning show, amigo. I greatly appreciate it. Yes. There we go. Anyways, I tell you what, Robby says, hey, dude, anyway, when you can play La Sombra is playing right now, so let me keep it going, okay? Good morning, Double R Radio. There we go. We're still live over here, Robby.
Yes.
There we go. So what else is going on, people? Is there any questions? I still got him here. He's going to be for a couple of minutes.
We're good.
Come on, who's got a question? Come on. You can throw a sexual question, whatever. Hey, man, Robby's open to anything. How does the wife cook and all that? Robby, do you cook? Robby, do you cook, dude?
I love cooking. I love barbecuing. Barbecuing is like my favorite. Yes.
Now, do you make like breakfast in the morning? Taquitos, blanquillos, pancakes at home or anything like that?
Most of the time, I actually don't have time to do it. But, every once in a while when I have a day that I don't go in late or I'm off, hell yeah, I do it.
So that's your phone? Yeah. I was like, hey, man, somebody's vibrator's going out. I thought I turned it off upstairs.
Right. I love cooking.
There we go. Elonia, hey, Robert, hey, how tall is Robby? Hey, dude, how tall are you, man?
5'1".
There we go. Then another girl, how long are you? Hey, come on, aquí. You said, Robby, I don't know about that, man. I just, hey, man, I may be small, but I pack a punch. Robby. Robby, let me ask you a question. Yes. Have you ever gotten in a fight?
Ever gotten in a fight? Plenty of times.
Really?
Yeah.
Win or lose?
School, both.
Woohoo! Yeah. When you lose, you learn from it. What is that?
You learn from it.
I'm going to learn from this.
I'm not as short as I thought I was.
There we go. It's Paul Valadez says, are you ever coming to play in DFW?
Actually, man, when was I there? I was there just recently. I'd say about maybe a couple months ago. But I actually should be recording with DJ Kane over in the DFW area here pretty soon. It's going to be with Baby Bash, Frankie J, Eric from Asore. So it's going to be a great album out there.
There we go. Let me see here. Martin Estrada, is he standing up now? Man, all these short jokes, Robby, why do they do this, man? Why are they doing this?
Hey, it's just love. That's all it is. It's love.
I've
known Martin a long time, and man, I love Martin, man. He always cracks me up.
You know, I'll never forget the time when I first saw Robby. I hadn't met him, but I saw Robby at HEB with his wife. This is true. I'm not making this up. I saw Robby with his wife at HEB, and his wife got the caretilla, and she picked up Robby and put him right there. Okay, honey, let's go, honey. I love you. I love you, baby. You tell her, Robby, give me over there. Give me the apple juice over here, and give me. We're going to cut it off here, man. Thank you all so very much for joining me on the morning show. Robby, give him a adios.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
There we go. Later. By the way, the videos will be up after a while on YouTube. Whatever you missed, you can check it out on my YouTube page, okay? Orale. Good morning, everybody. Adios.
Bye. See you. Thank you.